Hey everyone, and welcome to another 5 Leagues from the Borderlands adventure. We're back with Dayne's company, and of course, having cleared out, chased away, he'll be back later, one of the Gnawling Horde's captains, a kobold. They unleashed a monster upon the region around Boar's Hearth, and it's gonna, on a 1 or 2 every campaign turn, it's gonna basically reduce the size of the village by destroying a whole bunch of it, because the villagers are powerless to stop it. So we're gonna go and try and hunt this monster's lair, and see what kind of monster the kobolds have basically let loose in revenge for us starting to take them on. So we'll show you the table, we'll show you the current state of the warband, and we'll get this underway. So here they are, Packard, Dayne, and company. We have the 6 heroes on the left and the 2 followers on the right. Now, before we start our campaign turn, we are encamped outside in an actual camp outside Boar's Hearth, because it is riddled with disease right now, unfortunately. And up here is a monster's lair. It's not good. There's something going on where they've unleashed some kind of creature. I did forget something last turn. I forgot to make my follower advancement rolls, because they both survived the table. So I'm just going to do it quickly before I start my next campaign turn. And it's a D100 roll. So for the Courier, a 24, nothing gained. And for the Muscle, that is a 99. Moment of inspiration. The character becomes a hero and rolls once in the heroic advancement table. Well, I mean, he does look like Kratos, so it kind of makes sense he became a hero. Non-mystical advancement, 76. That's going to be a combat skill increase, which gives him a +1. So 1 follower and 7 heroes now as the Muscle joins their ranks. Sir Dayne has got himself a barbarian, basically. So he'll get his human +1 speech increase. He's armed with partial armor and a bastard sword, which is his giant axe. All right, we are in the prep stage. So first thing, local events. We are camped outside Boar's Hearth. Let's see what's going on. It's a 38. 38 is a wandering healer. Select an injured character and mark off a turn of their recovery time. If this heals them completely, they can act normally in the campaign turn, including joining you in battle. I also realized that the Courier was knocked out last turn, which is a good thing he didn't do very much. So, and also didn't advance because he didn't actually survive the game. So I'm going to knock off, he shouldn't have participated and also didn't advance. But looking at his sheet when I marked the combat skill, I realized he's supposed to sit out. So we'll mark another level of his healing down for 2 more campaign turns. So then we're on to, from local events, hard times. All right, so we have 8 people in our warband. Let's see what we have to pay this turn. And we're camped, so we can't work. That's going to be D3 + 1 is 3. So we're in camp. I think what we're going to end up doing is hunting, or living off the land, sorry. Camp only. We'll send someone to go and do a little bit of hunting and try to get our upkeep costs done. Shall to go do that because she's an expert hunter. Then we're going to, I think, meet the locals. If we're in town. Never mind. We'll scout. Not traveling anywhere because it's in our own zone. Then what do we want to do? We could just train. We'll go over a hunting expedition. We'll do that. Who's got wilderness? Bale's got wilderness. He's going to go on a hunting expedition. It's an 8+, meaning he needs a 6. And we get it. So let's see what we get. D6. 6. You find suspicious tracks that suggest enemy activity. Gain an adventure point. Makes sense considering we're trying to follow a monster back to its lair. So with the Courier sitting out for a game, let's start our adventure. We can't meet the locals. We can't research either. During this step, you can carry a roll in connections, or you may attempt to track them to camp or hide. Oh, never mind. We can do it in camp. And we get a 73, which is the offer of a contract. No thanks. We're going to try to attack or explore a location, which is a monster's lair. It is thick with malice and barely contains sorcery. For a moment, you hear a monstrous heartbeat echoing along the cavern walls, but surely it must be your imagination. No creature could be that large. You're raiding a monster lair and will need to progress cautiously as the beast will be lurking inside, ready to attack. Having the entire warband charge him will no doubt alert the monster, so you need to scout ahead. So scout deployment. Select a member of the warband that will scout ahead and place him within 6 inches of an entry point in the battlefield. Put a token on the entry point. This is where the warband will arrive when the battle begins. Place 3 curious location markers. We're not playing on dungeon tiles, so it's just going to be at least 12 inches from the scout. All right, so as we're fighting an aberration, we have to determine what the monster is going to be. So it's 78 this time around. We can't get the troll again. An undead construct. Difficult to kill, terror, size, undead. It has 7 monster points and toughness 5. Oh my god. Reward rating's 4. Armor 2, +1, +2 for its melee attacks, and then combat +2 and speed 5 inches. To kill is at the end of the tracking phase. On a 5+, it gets one of its 7 wounds back. And with these things, if you roll under its toughness of 5, you do no damage to it at all. If you roll 5, you do 1. If you do a 6, you do 2 if it's got 4 or more left. 1 if it's got 3 or less left. So it's not as, it basically for the first 2 hits, If I roll 6s, it will go over. But yeah, this is going to be hard to kill this thing. And then it's got terror, size, and undead. A follower that loses a melee exchange will flee full move away if they survive and can take no actions a falling battle round. So followers are bad against this. Range attacks get +1 to hit it because it's big. And then the last one is going to be undead. So it counts undead for the purpose of being like any spells and stuff. Big deal, just the kobolds waking up some kind of undead Jason Voorhees to come kill us all. Here are the ancient ruins around Boar's Hearth, this old settlement, long decayed. Something is lurking in, of course, which is killing passersby. So our scout begins within 6 inches of the entry point, which we'll use the path for over here. And then we have to place 3 markers not within 12 of each other. So not within 12 of the scout on interesting locations. We'll put one over here, and the last marker in the building. Scouting layer takes place in a series of moves. Each move, the scout may move up to their normal movement speed in any direction. At the end of the move, roll 2d6. If any unusual locations are within line of sight and closer in inches than the die roll, the closest such location has been scouted. Roll a d100 on the curious location table to determine what was found. If the roll is equal to or greater than the distance, nothing happens. What if the total of the dice is 2 or 3? The scouts alerted the monster and replaced any unusual location with the beast aware. Lucian does have the scout ability. We're going to move him first. He's going to go 4 inches over to here. I gotta roll 2d6. We did not roll a 2 or a 3, luckily, and that scouting move is now over. Solution's gonna move again. We weren't within range, so nothing happened. So we're gonna go over here. He's gonna keep on scouting. See if something comes up. 7 inches. Oh, we found one. All right, so we have to roll on the table now and see which one it is. So we've discovered potentially a curious location. 85. The beast, unaware. The beast is here, but unaware of your presence. You may continue scouting or proceed to step 3. Ignore any results of monster tracks or the beast unaware. If you roll the beast aware at a different location, the beast becomes aware of you, but we located where you already found it. So we found Jason over here. We move again. It's unaware of us so far, so we're going to go over to here, 4 inches, and see if we can scout this one. Rolling. Maybe we find something cool. 6 inches, we'll find this one now. So let's see and roll what we find. Maybe we find a captive. That's 99. The beast aware! The beast is here ready to pounce. Place the monster figure on the location, then immediately move as normal towards this gout. So it's already aware, but then we get to make a move. So unfortunately, it became aware. It goes 5 and heads this way and makes a normal move. Location is then taken away. Then the monster becomes aware. Place each warband member within 1 move of the entry point. The scout may make a single move and then roll for initiative. It's charging on. Luckily, most of us are move 6. So Sir Dayne's going to come running forward. We'll have Shala and Bale both move forward. Mav move forward. I think everybody except for the muscle, who still moves 4-3. Even Curtis comes running on. And then Lucian's just going to be like, no thanks. I'm going to go see what's back here. For initiative is normal. And seeing what we got. Ugh, just Sir Dayne. But actually, we're going to give it to Lucian because he's a 2. And that way everybody can just take a run. We have to roll for Bale gets his because he's Fey. Shala does not because she's only initiative 1. And then Curtis also going last, and the muscle going last. Just Lucian. He's just gonna go hide. He's gonna go this +3 and be like, bye. No thanks. Get that last point while this thing menaces us. And then it's gonna lurch forward 5 towards us, but it's gonna try and stay in cover, so it's gonna go over there. It does that though. Bale gets to fire. Never mind. I forgot he actually had initiative. So he'll take a shot with his longbow. It hits on a 2 because he didn't move. And then it's armor 2, so overcomes on a 3. It does not. Didn't even stun him. So now he'll move into cover like that. Shala first, she'll take a shot. She's combat 2, so 4 to hit. 3 because it's large. Overcoming armor on a 3. Oh my god. Well, our bows are ineffective apparently against this undead thing. And then we head forward. All right, we need you to take one for the team there. Get in there, Dayne. This is what you do. Curtis will back him up. And so will Mav, and the muscle will come in with a double move. On a 5+, he would get a wound back. He does not. So we're into round 2. So for round 2, yeah, I think we give that to Curtis again. We roll for Bale. He'll get a 2 and fail because he's agility 1. Shala, oh, she actually gets to go, and then everybody else will be in the tracking phase. Luckily no followers here, so the terror won't do anything. All right, well, that means that we're just gonna go with you're gonna go 4 and then 3, so 7. Head over here. And Shala will take a shot at him in cover again, so a 3+ because he's large, plus her combat skill, hits. Overcomes armor on a 3, does this time, and then it's a 6 to do anything. So a 1 to 5, or so 1 to 4 is nothing. A 6 will do damage. No, it actually does 2 damage points. So that means this thing has 5 wounds remaining, 5 monster points left. Although it can get them back. Shala, and then it's going to come in and charge Sir Dayne. This is what Dayne trained for, fighting zombies, fighting Jason. All right, so it's combat +2. Sir Dayne will be +2 plus another one for having a friend nearby, so +3. And it will win significantly. So Sir Dayne, again, his armor of the traitor, only overcome on a 6. No! He's immediately taken out of action! I spent a story point to reroll that. That'd be how the armor of the traitor goes down. Ah, he's okay, thank God. I hate that happened. He gets pushed back and driven back again. He gets attacked. It's almost finally Sir Dayne's armor betrayed him. But as long as we have story points, we might be okay. Sir Dayne wins this one this time around, so he becomes the attacker. And then the third engagement, Sir Dayne pushes him back. Does he overcome his armor? He has a +1. He does. The Bastard Sword overcoming his toughness needs a 5 or a 6. 4 will do nothing. He does drive him back an inch though. And the combat ends. All right, well, Bale, I need you to move half. And then you're within 6 and he's in the open. So you're just gonna hit him on a 3. 2 because he's big. You do with the longbow and then overcome his armor on a 3. You do. 5, 6 do some damage. Ah, he did. He overcome his armor again. So now it'll do 2 this time around, take him down to 3. But now it'll only be 1 at a time. All right, well, it's time to get serious. Come on, Sir Dayne. Go fight. So combat +2, +1 for a friend. He wins the fight. Does he overcome his armor with a Bastard Sword? +1. So he needs to beat a 2. He does. Does he beat his armor? He ties it, which will do 1 point. So that'll take him down to 2. He's driven back. Sir Dayne comes in and fights again. He loses his +1 though, because his friends are no longer nearby. Sir Dayne's getting cocky, but he wins again. Does he overcome his armor? He does not. Final engagement. He pushes him back 1 more time. Sir Dayne loses the fight this time, and the monster becomes the attacker, but the combat ends because that was the 3rd engagement. Mav's turn. She's like, I can do this. He's a +3, +4 because of her friend. Oh no, the monster becomes the bad guy immediately. She wouldn't have taken damage, but it's a role reversal. They don't push back because it's just a attacker switch. Then that's a 7. She gets a 8 actually and becomes the attacker again. They don't move. And then she actually strikes a blow. So she has nothing to overcome armor, so she needs a 3. She does. And then nothing to overcome toughness, she needs a 5. 6, she does another point. It's only 1 because he's less than 3. 3rd engagement though now, so they separate. And it's just Curtis, the boy. He's gonna go finish him off. Curtis is +3 because he's born lucky. So that's a 6. That's gonna be a 6, 7 actually because of the engagement bonus. Does he overcome his armor? He's just got I think he's got a Bastard Sword. No, he's got a light weapon. He does overcome his armor with a 5, and then toughness, he just needs a 5, 6. Bam! Kills him. Well, that was impressive. Curtis is gonna get an extra bonus experience. We're gonna walk over here, Lucian, and see what this thing is. It's a 89. That's probably nothing. Sorry. The Beast Aware. We already rolled it. Sir Dayne's company apparently just laughing off this zombie. It was pretty, it almost killed Sir Dayne, but thankfully for the magic of story points, we didn't die. So we defeat an aberration, we get 1 adventure point for that. A reward rating of 4, which means looting it, we get 4 gold marks, we get 4 extra XP to distribute amongst players or heroes that survived, and 4 more loot rolls, because we just whatever this weird stuff it's wearing, we get to peel off of it. Story points, we generate a story point and an adventure point, so we get 2 adventure points overall. I want this guy to keep coming back though, because he's like Jason, we think we killed him, but we just sink him into a swamp, and then he comes back with an even bigger machete over and over again. It's a space, he gets a space machete. No Flight from the Dark, we will get to, actually sorry, it was last game we got to do the convalescence. Checking for advancement. So Dayne, Mav, Shala, and Curtis get 1 each of the 4 extra experience. And then Lucian also just leveled up, straight up from the experience bounce. Curtis, Shala, and Lucian all get to make level up rolls. Lucian is a mystic, so we're going to do him first. And he gets to roll on this table. I get a 98. Spell improvement. This is gain a new random spell. Sweet. Oh, he gets a 33. There's Fog, which is 6+ ground, a 3-inch fog circle that can be moved through blocks all line of sight. For Shala, she gets a 10, which is a speed or skill increase. See her skill to 6-3. For the boy, Curtis, he gets 5, which is speed or skill. He's already got speed, we'll do a skill. We're gonna give him, I think, battle-wise, because he's getting really good at fighting. Muscle survived, so he gets to make an attempt at an advancement roll. Or no, the muscle didn't survive, and the Courier didn't participate. The muscle was already a hero. He got 2 experience, but didn't level. I keep forgetting he's actually a hero now. Advancements on unusual finds. This was a monster battle, and we get a 70 for that roll. So for a defensive raid site battle, 70. Strange sack. Over in the corner, leaning against the corpse, is a sack with no holds riches. Roll on the loot table to see what you find. So we're gonna get 6 loot table rolls. My God, all right, so 6 rolls. First one, 85. That's gonna be consumables. So we find a consumables table, 27, Delver's Kit. Second one is a 29, which is weapons. And what kind of weapon? 61, we find a improved war spear. What kind? A balanced war spear. Third roll, 88. Consumable again. And the consumable is 40. That's a misty water flower times 2. Fourth roll, 100. An enchanted item. Oh my God. Another one. I mean, he is a giant zombie. It's gotta be something cool. 71 is jewelry. What kind of enchanted jewelry do we find? We find 89. Uncontested Fury. When the wearer slays an enemy in melee, they may immediately make a full move towards the nearest enemy. If they make contact, they will engage the enemy in melee contact. This effect can only be triggered once per battle round. Going to Mav. She's uncontestedly furious. She's an absolute killing machine, so we're gonna give that to her. Then the fifth roll, 4, just valuables. What kind of valuables? 91. A sack of grain. The final roll is a 10. More valuables. So far a sack of grain. We got a 32, which is a bag of tools for D3. For 2 more. Cool. So now it's time to settle in. We're going to go to Boar's Hearth and tell them, don't worry, we took care of the zombie. As Jason comes to Boar's Hearth. It's like Jason goes to New York, except he's just beaten up like woad buildings. And then we get to, actually, sorry, it's start next campaign turn. We get to reduce the entry level on the Courier 1 more. D100 on the news travels table to see what is up. 87. Please don't let Boar's Hearth be infected again. A stranger's visiting. Select a random settlement. If you visit there within the next 2 campaign turns and want to meet them, roll a traveler encounter. Smallest to biggest. 4. They're in Boar's Hearth. Perfect. So there we go, at the end of the adventure, slaying the giant zombie dug up by the kobolds in an attempt to distract us from whatever their machinations are. We'll be back to get them next week as we continue our quest to exterminate at least one of the threats in the Nine Finger Mountains. So thanks for watching. We'll see you for more 5 Leagues from the Borderlands next week. Till then, I'm Ash. Have a great day. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that video. There are tons of other games already recorded for you to watch. Click over to my channel page if you haven't already, and have a look through the dozens of playlists full of videos. I guarantee you'll discover a game you haven't seen played before. I put out new videos 7 days a week, and every day is themed to a different genre as I continue to explore the wider world of gaming. Of course, none of that's possible without you, the viewer, so click a like and subscribe if you'd like to stay on top of what's happening here daily. My 2 kids and I are massively grateful to be able to have the flexibility of this job so I can always maximize my time with them. If you want to support me continue to put out this content, it's only possible because of my amazing backers on Patreon who support the studio, equipment, and model cost, as well as being how I make the bulk of my living. You can also help out by buying a t-shirt through Spreadshirt, a measuring gauge or widget from Death Ray Designs, or buying one of my games and supplements like Last Days, Game of Wolves, and Blaster. As a way of showing my appreciation, patrons get early access to new games and supplements that I write throughout the course of the year. Huge thanks for watching, it really does help out, and happy gaming.